sharks, you know, are kind of dumb. Like, their brain is the size of like a walnut.
Yeah.
Despite being like 20 feet long.
Yeah.
So, you know, all they know is like swim, eat, swim, eat.
Swim. And then you introduce cocaine and it's like swim, eat, blow. Like Gym Tan Laundry. It's like swim, eat, sniff. Swim, eat, sniff. I've heard IV drips are a lifesaver.
Oh my God, have you never had one?
Never had one. So there were a few fraternities at my school that used to do group IVs after huge parties where they would just have a nurse come the next morning. It was like one of those like services.
Rich people shit.
Yeah, and if you did it in a group, apparently it wasn't that expensive. So they'd always do like 5 or 6 guys at a time.
Gotcha.
And I would get texts from some of the guys I was friends with, like, yo, we're doing a group IV tomorrow morning. Let me know if you want in on it. Like you're just like splitting a case of beer. You're like, yo, you want to fucking slap that IV? And yeah, apparently, you know, it just makes you feel like you didn't even drink, which is the goal the next morning.
You definitely do. I recommend that you put yourself in a position where you need to go to the hospital and get an IV drip or just a home service.
Pay $180 or whatever it is.
I've gotten an IV drip, I guess probably multiple times, but the only time I remember I was having severe stomach pain and, you know, my irrational fears started. I hadn't pooped in like 5 days. So logic would say that I was constipated, right?
So you had just a literal brick inside your intestines.
Yes, I think that is what it turned out to be. Now, at the time, my irrational fear had me thinking like, what if I have like appendicitis or something? Because then you can like die from that. Or if you have like a ruptured like colon or like a tear or something, I'm like, I could die. So I went to the hospital and I was like, I swear like something has exploded inside of my stomach. Like I'm dying. Like it's terrible. They put me on an IV drip because I guess I was also really dehydrated. And it felt amazing. It's like... Did
it release the bowels too, or what was the IV
for? They gave me because I was dehydrated. I think that goes hand in hand kind of with constipation sometimes.
So you're getting just like the liquid into your veins, but then also your stomach is opening up and you're fine. Like you're sitting there like,
Yeah. It's just like they give you an IV drip sometimes just to like cheer you up, I swear, because it feels like on a hot day when you like crack open an ice cold can and you're just like, that's what the IV drip feels like inside your body.
That feels risky to be connected to an IV while you're also getting over constipation because it could just flood out at any time.
It can't.
But can you bring the IV into the bathroom? Like, can you take a shit hooked up to an IV?
Yeah, you can do that. Absolutely.
They have like that metal stand.
They're on wheels. They're always
okay. That's what I'm picturing. Like I used to go visit my grandma in the nursing home before she passed away, and she had like the IV bag. She was always lying down though, but there were other people that were walking around the hospital,
go up and down the halls
with like the metal thing. But I was always like, if you shit, because like the wheels are pretty wide. Like, do you sit down connected?
Yeah.
These are the thoughts that are going through my head as I'm just like around a bunch of old people. I'm just like, how do you shit? Like that IV situation seems pretty.
You do sit down. And so the IV is actually like a really flexible thing. So like you can bend your arm, it's all fascinating. But yeah, when they put it in, you're like, oh, a needle. But once they like actually have the little thing, it's like it's like a vein, like, and it moves, like, so you can move your arm, you can do anything. Yeah. And you just drag that thing with you. Now, when you're really constipated, like there's no like fast action. Like when you've got 5 days of backup going on, like it's like when the Suez Canal was like backed up. Like there's no all of a sudden like you're clear. It's like a work in progress.
Okay. So it's like you could feel the centimeter by centimeter coming out. It's not like it's not like a shitgasm. It's like
now you might feel a little relief after.
It's more like a what do you call it when you like delay your orgasm, like tantric?
Oh, what is that called?
What is it called? It's called like not peaking. It's called.
Yeah. What the fuck is it?
What
called?
is it called? Now I need to check.
That, like,
Alexa.
It
Find
is
Alexa.
a term.
What is it called when you hold your cum in? Okay.
What is it called? I feel like it starts with an F for some reason.
Yeah. Not semen retention.
I know, like, our listeners are screaming.
Edging.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So it's like
not
a poop.
an F,
it's
but
like
yes.
a poop edge. It's like it's like the
It
pleasure
was.
is spread throughout the time. It goes across time. It's not just one moment.
I'm telling you, I hate to break it to you, but it's not pleasurable at all when you're severely constipated. Any fraction of matter that you can expel from your body is like a painful relief.
Okay.
But it's not, you're not like, oh, thank God. You're like, wow, I just went through hell and I came out on the other side.
Yeah, I guess I've just been lucky with shit because I've never been really badly constipated to the point where
I'm not usually.
Like I've had poops where it's been like a hard poop when I've been on painkillers for past surgeries, but even then, like it's a little bit painful at the beginning, but once it gets going, I'm just like, oh my God, it feels like it's literally like almost coming on a toilet bowl. Like they say 1/8 of an orgasm is a normal shit. I feel like when you're on painkillers and it finally comes, it's at least like a half an orgasm when you're backed up and it just floods out of you.
That's like a normal poop. But also when I had surgery recently, I got constipated. And so I get really constipated when I'm undergoing like severe anxiety or stress. So, and also medications. So that's what went into play with this most recent time.
Okay.
And it was terrible.
So instead of an orgasm, it's like poop BDSM when you're constipated that badly. It's like a little bit of pain over a long period.
It's like my
PDSM,
own
poop DSM.
colon is like trying to kill me.
Okay.
Like it's trying to kill me.
Trying to assassinate you.
Yeah, and I'm doing everything. I'm taking laxatives. Then you have to put like a laxative in your butt.
Yeah.
I don't like, that's disturbing to me. I don't want to have to put something in my butt. Like, and it's like a bullet size, like, it's like shampoo kind of, like the texture, imagine, or like a little bullet size thing of soap. Like imagine that texture because it's meant to like liquefy in your butthole. Yeah. And then loosen things up.
Okay, so you're sticking it up. Enema, that's what it's called,
it's
right?
Just like that's a liquid thing.
Or that's a liquid,
that's
okay.
Like a clean, that's a flush. You're cleaning out the system.
So what is it called again?
It's a laxative. It's like a stool softener and like laxative. But it's like, you can take the pill kind.
But you put it up your butt.
Yes. Okay. So there's the pill kind or a liquid kind, but it's not going to be as fast acting as the ones you insert into your butt. Okay. And that actually is like a really scary thing.
What if we just did 90 minutes on poo?
Yeah, I'm sorry, people. Look, no, how did we even start talking about this?
I don't know, but I just want to say, you know,
the IV drip. Get an IV drip if you need one.
Yeah, exactly. Get the IV drips. For all of you out there who are just, you're thinking right now, wow, they're speaking in such great scientific detail. They must be doctors. And I'm sorry to let you down. We are not doctors, despite, how expert we try to come off. If you can't shit, you should definitely not use this podcast for medical advice, but
go to the hospital.
Go to someone who deals with shits in a medical fashion.
Get an IV drip. You're gonna like it. I'm telling you, you're gonna feel like $1,000,000 when you finish that IV drip. You're gonna feel so good. Life change. It's like air conditioning for the body. Like you just feel so good.
Wow, that's a good way to put it. Like that should be the tagline for IVs. It's like an AC for your body.
Everybody would
it's like an AC from the inside out. You're just you're conditioning your body, cooling your body. The
healthcare system's gatekeeping the IV drip.
We should get so fucking hungover before one podcast where we do one hooked up to IVs. And then we get sponsored by the company that does the IV, so we get it for free.
Film them coming and like hooking us up and everything.
And then we talk about like we have a check every 20 minutes, like how do you feel? And I'm just like, amazing. I actually feel pretty fucking good right now.
Yeah.
I feel like Superman.
I'm telling you, you would really like it. I'm surprised you've gone this long and like never experienced an IV drip.
Yeah. I do have speaking of life-changing things, I did have something happen to me that did feel a little bit life-changing.
Okay.
I got stuck in an elevator for the first time.
So scary.
I got trapped in an elevator for the first time.
Here in your building?
In my building.
Oh,
yes.
No.
So I was on my way to go to a podcast for my other show, and I'm already running a little bit late. And, you know, before a podcast, especially with a guest, with someone that you don't have the rapport with that you're talking to every week, you're already a little bit nervous. You're like, I hope this goes well. Mm-hmm. I actually did a podcast with her once before, so I wasn't as nervous, but I'm still like, oh, you know, I had those like pre-anxiety podcast tensions, and I'm in the elevator, and all of a sudden the elevator with the floors gets down to the 4th floor, and it just goes blank.
Oh, no.
And it stops. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, if I've just seen scenes in movies where the elevator stops and people freak out so many times, where I was almost expecting that to happen to me. And I was waiting for my mind to freak out. But then I just realized there's nothing I could do besides just call my building. Yeah, I called, my girlfriend was upstairs. I called her. I was like, I know if the fire department has to come, so I don't want to press the emergency thing right away. So just let them know the elevator's stuck. And then for a good 20 to 25 minutes, I was just in there.
Yep.
And it almost felt like a meditation. I felt like
you got to get to know yourself.
Exactly. Like I couldn't do shit. There was nothing. Like for 20 minutes, I was like, if I miss this podcast, I don't know how long it's going to be. The guy
you don't know if the sun is still up outside. You don't know how long you've been in there.
Yeah, exactly. No concept of time. The guy in my building is telling me if I wait for the people to come who handle the elevator shit, it could be an hour and a half. So in my mind,
should have pressed they have the fire department thing in there, and they will show up and they'll get you out of there in 10 minutes.
So that was what I wasn't sure of. I didn't know if this was going to require that level of technicality. But so I ended up getting out without the fire department. But so I'm sitting in there, and 20 minutes passes, and I'm like waiting for the movie scene to hit me, where you know you're trapped in the elevator and you're on your phone and you're like, I have 12% battery. And it's like, oh, how long is this going to be? It could be 1 hour, it could be 12 hours. It never hit me. And I'm just, you know, in my mind, I'm thinking the podcast is over. You know, this could be a few hours. And I literally just like stood there and felt at peace, like very at peace. Wow. So that's just advice for anyone out there who's, you know, if you can't get away from your job, if you know, your kids are pissing you off, if your friends are doing dumbass shit and they have you feeling you stressed out, whatever the stressor is in your life, get trapped in an elevator for 20 to 30 minutes and everything is out of your control. And you're just sitting there. Yeah. Just, you can't do anything. Life stops and you have the perfect excuse for the next thing you go to because you're literally trapped in an elevator. There's no stress. If your boss is like, where the fuck were you? He's like, bitch, I was trapped in an elevator. Your kids are like, where are you?
Exactly.
You say, you know, call your dad because, bitch, I'm trapped in an elevator. And that's exactly how I talk to my 4-year-old. But it did feel like almost it was almost like a deprogramming of movies and the effect that they have on us, because I just never really had that thing sink in of, oh my God, like I need to freak out. Like,
so we've determined you don't have claustrophobia.
But it's weird because I get it on planes. Maybe
it's not claustrophobia. Maybe I guess I don't know. Maybe it's like control, like when somebody else is responsible. Like on the plane, like first of all, you have a lot of other people that you cannot control any of those players. You know
exactly.
So that could be something.
It's also in a plane. I'm also thinking about the fact that I'm, 30,000 feet in the sky in a silver bullet flying 500 miles an hour. And that is definitely contributing to the fact that I feel like I can't escape being up in the sky.
I think that's what it is.
But people And by the way, I was stuck in there for like 28 minutes tops. So I'm sure if it was 12 hours, like some of those horror stories, I probably would have canceled this podcast. I'd probably be in a mental hospital right now, like with people giving me injections.
I don't
like
think it's
you have to calm down.
possible to get stuck in an elevator for that long. Like
I've heard stories.
I don't know, and especially in New York, like the fire department gets a call like that all the time. Demi's gotten stuck in the elevator at our old apartment building, and that's why they have the fire department thing in there, because they will get you out. They will come and get you out, no problem. Usually the elevator, it's like a crank. Like I don't know how to describe it. I've never worked in an elevator room, but it's like a crank, that needs to keep going.
It's a guy down there.
It kind of when it stops working. That is what you'll do, especially if you get stuck like in between the floors.
That's what happened to me.
They'll crank it so you go to an actual floor, and then they can open the door and get you out.
So I got caught between the floors. They were able to bring me up a little bit, and I could have climbed out. Like it was probably about nipple height where the floor was, where I could have just pulled myself up. But then in the back of my mind,
you can't, like, what if you get ripped in half?
So I was thinking, that's what I told the guy in my building. I was like, you got to triple check the safety on the elevator, because I don't want to end up in two pieces where my spine gets snapped in half, and like the elevator guy's just covered in blood. It's like, and the last thing that he sees is me just fucking looking up at him, just like half a torso.
Wow.
And I'd seen some Reddit death videos because, that's...
Don't watch those.
Well,
you're on the dark web.
So my thing is, do watch them, because I wouldn't have thought about that. So I asked the guy in my building to triple check it, because I was like, I don't want to end up like one of the guys, that gets chopped in half, because it has happened.
You send him the link. You're like, this is like, I don't want this to happen to me. You traumatize him.
Watch this right now. And so they went down, and they were like, look, we don't have to call the fire department or the Centennial guys, the company that runs the elevator. It's the safety's on. They gave me a ladder so I could climb up first, and then just like quickly dart over the threshold. And so that's what I ended up doing, just like climbing up and then darting over the threshold. And it was a surprisingly meditative experience, and I highly recommend getting trapped in an elevator for 25 to 30 minutes, just hitting the pause button.
The bigger problem with being trapped in an elevator is the temperature, because elevators usually don't have like AC or anything. Now your building it's pretty dark where your elevator shaft is. There's like no light. In our old apartment building, the elevator, first of all, was way bigger than the elevator here, which is a plus, but there was like it was hot because there was a massive windows like right in the hall where you get in and out of the elevator. So the elevator was like always so hot. So it caused more panic, because it's like, wait, I actually can die pretty quickly in here if I'm basically in a hot car in the sun with no water. And so that's when it's like, you got to press that emergency fire button, and they'll just talk to you through the little speaker, or they'll call you if you have your phone.
If you're in an elevator with one other person and it's been, let's say, 10 hours. Oh no. You're on the brink of, I could seriously die. It's hot. You're dehydrated. You're starting, even if you're not gonna die like scientifically, like you're still far away from like physically. You're feeling like I could, like it's a possibility.
You're feeling a little glass half empty, may I say?
And the other person in the elevator is someone you could physically overtake. It's like a 70-30 chance that you win the fight. How long until you're stuck in an elevator until you're thinking cannibalistic thoughts?
I'm not. I better not.
3 days. What about three days in an elevator?
I don't know in what world I'm getting stuck in an elevator for that long.
My mind, my imagination.
I just feel like I guess if I was in like a foreign country that's like third world.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like in America, like I'm not getting stuck in an elevator.
You're in India. You're in like a crooked building with a janky elevator. The building could collapse. The elevator, no one's coming. Like they keep telling you, like, yeah, someone's on the way. No one's coming to help you, and you're with someone else in the elevator.
How am I gonna like eat? How am I gonna just like take a bite? Because like it's not like I have like anything, you know, it's not like I have anything to like actually cut them up or cook them or anything.
Yeah, well, you don't have utensils. Yeah. No one. There should be a cannibalist handbook because no one ever talks about the awkwardness of the beginning of eating something. Like, do you?
You're like looking like, how do I? Go about? It's like when you get a burger that's like too big or a sandwich that's too big. When you look at it and you're like, how do I like even take a bite out of this?
Yeah.
Thing?
You ever see the videos of snakes that are trying to eat something and it's like way too big, so they have to unhinge their jaw and they're like trying to like kick it back into their like that. I picture that's what it's like to like eat someone. It's like you're constantly trying to like kick your head over the elbow joint. But it's like, how do you even like the awkwardness of someone else who's also in the situation for you or with you? Are you like, hey, one of us is getting out of here, what, you know, let's just, you know, I'll start with your finger, you know, maybe a toe. Like
that's kind of what you'd have to do. Like you wouldn't have to like kill them outright. Like you could just start taking pieces.
Yeah, because you could be an amputee from someone eating your leg. You don't have to kill them.
I just don't think this is gonna work because like you can't cook it. You know, all the stories that I've heard of cannibalism, you gotta cook it. You know, you're not just going in raw.
Well, in that situation, though, you got to risk it, though, because it's life and death.
I think I'd probably...
You're going to die anyway if you don't eat.
Kill myself? I don't know. Like, what would I...
Bang your head against the buttons.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, like, as you're doing it, the elevator just comes back on and saves you as you're trying to kill yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never thought about this because I don't think it's possible that you're going to get stuck in an elevator for that long.
Yeah. No, it's just my sick hypothetical Reddit death mind thinking of it. I just think it's awkward. Like I haven't seen the documentary about the you know, like the plane crash documentary where people... Didn't you
watch that? Wasn't there was a movie that came out recently.
I didn't see it. It was about like the plane crashing in the mountains. Yeah, and then they end up resorting to cannibalism to survive. Like you know, and I'm sure this would be answered if I watched the documentary, but you know, because of podcasting, I'm just like, well, let me just speculate on something I haven't seen. I'm like, do you wait for the person to die? Do you kill them if you're gonna die and you're like, well, we got to speed this up here? Like, do you like tell them what you're gonna do before you do it? Because I don't want to like, you know, backstab. So I would want to be like, hey, I'm gonna be honest.
Most people do not do that. Most people will not just go into cannibalism. It's always like, yes, the person has died or the person is about to die and they like basically give
them
consent.
A little bop.
Well, they like that person gives consent like, I'm going to die like probably tonight. I don't think I'm going to make it through the night. Like tomorrow or just when I die, like please utilize the meat. You know what I mean? Like, so that plane one, that's pretty much how it went.
They're like, let me check the back of my license just to make sure that I'm an organ donor for cannibalism before you take me out. Just so legally you don't have any problems if you survive.
I think, I don't know any story. I mean, aside from like Jeffrey Dahmer, you know, they're like serial killers and people like, I've read dark web stories of like people in Japan like murdering and dismembering and like trying to make soup out of people. I don't know, but
that's
like,
Jeffrey Dahmer's origin story. He got trapped in an elevator and he's like, actually, this is pretty good. I think
you have to be like already a murderer or serial killer or have the desire to do that. Otherwise it's like you're never going into... I'd rather just die of starvation before I like ate somebody, like before I killed somebody and then ate them if they die and I'm like stuck somewhere, like maybe, you know, I've never been that hungry before, so I don't know.
Well,
but
you'll get to that point after a certain period of time.
Yeah, I don't want to get to that point. I'm not trying to put myself in any situation that happens. But you never know. I mean, none of those kids on that plane wanted to have their plane crash and end up living like on a mountain top for like a month and eating some of their friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dark times.
Yeah, except maybe one of those people was like on the plane just plotting in their head like, all right, let me think about if our plane crashes into the mountain, which person I would eat in a hypothetical scenario. And then they're like, oh my God, it's actually happening. I get to use the plan that I made in my head.
See, that's where you go back to like, that's like a Jeffrey Dahmer. Like you're already mentally ill. If you're already need to be locked up if you're thinking of that stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe, I might need to call somebody about you.
I might need a liquid IV to. Yeah. I am a little hungover, folks. I went to a show last night, so.
You're thinking strange thoughts.
Yeah, you know. I've never thought about who I'm going to eat on a plane, but I feel like just because of this conversation, next time I'm on a plane, I'm going to be like, all right, if it does happen, who do I think is going to be the one?
Like, it's you.
Yeah, I like bring my book down so they could just see my eyes, and I'm just staring at them like, you know what the fuck's going to happen.
You're like licking your lips.
Yeah. Just you wait. Once we're over the Himalayas, goddamn, it's a matter of time.
I would hope to, that's like last case scenario. That's worst case, last resort.
Yeah.
You hope you can catch a fish or something, anything. Eat some bugs. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, catch a disease that's gonna kill you. Just gonna kill you.
Put you out of your misery.
That's not gonna be terrible to die from. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you getting into this week?
Well, speaking of dark times, I came across a headline that it doesn't sit well with me. So I know like maybe a couple months ago or a few podcasts ago, I told you that on my way over here, I'm like minding my business. I'm on the train, and out of the corner of my eye, I spot like somebody sits next to me, and it's a black, dark figure. And I look, and it's a goth person. And I felt so at peace with this gothic person next to me. They were wearing black zip up, the big Hot Topic pants, like the platform shoes,
like the cargo pants, black,
with like the chains.
Yeah, they got all the accessories.
And she had like bright red hair, like not a natural red, like a very clearly box dyed red hair. And I like just felt this moment of joy because I realized that like I don't know if we really have, like, goths are like a dying population, you know? Like, I kind of, like, think about it. Like, when's the last time you saw, like, a goth person on the streets? Like, I feel like, you live in Brooklyn. Like, I don't feel like I've seen that many.
I'll tell you the last time I saw a goth person on the street.
Oh.
It was in Panama.
Okay, whoa, that's kind of crazy.
So, so now that I'm thinking about it, I did see a few goth people in Panama City.
I like that because they go hard because Panama is like by the equator, so it's pretty fucking hot there.
But like Panamanian goths, they looked like they were from Panama, and I like maybe if you're in a country that is developing and Panama, you know, they're growing, Panama City is thriving, but like different parts of Panama are like on the up and up. I think maybe like the goth culture and like all the cultural trends of a place like the US, the in Panama like lags behind. So like I did see, like, it's funny because I'd be like, oh, that's a goth, or like, oh, that person's going through like the 2000s like spiked hair, Blink 182 phase where like everyone has like the blonde dyed hair. So I think it's like lagging behind and it's hitting Panama, and it's probably true for other parts of the world too. But like these trends are just like, you know, they happen regardless, but it's just depends on the time.
Yeah.
But the long story short, the last time I saw Goth was probably in Panama.
So not your everyday. Now, back when we were younger, I feel like goths were more prevalent. Like my eldest brother was a goth. Like he used to have like blue hair. He has tattoos. Like he had his ears like gauged. Like I think he wore makeup. Like he
was full blow, just into it.
Seriously.
Yeah.
And I was always like, I've always been attracted to darker things, like, you know, just like rock music. Like I remember like Marilyn Manson, who unfortunately has taken some turns for the worse these days, but like I was like so obsessed with him. And like one of my favorite songs growing up was Dragula by Rob Zombie, which I now as an adult realize that could have been a sign to be concerned about a little girl being so into that song.
I mean, it's good music.
Yeah, it's a great song. So I'm like, I saw an article from USA Today. The headline is a Texas school tried to ban all black clothing over mental health concerns.
Really?
Yes, and I'll get into some details about it, but I just want to say we need justice for goths, okay?
This is gothist.
Yes, it actually is. So let's just read a little bit of this. An El Paso, Texas middle school is facing some criticism after officials announced a new dress code policy that bars students from wearing all black from head to toe, pointing to concerns over mental health. The decision was announced by Charles Middle School principal Nick DeSantis ahead of the school year, which kicked off this past Monday. The letter mentioned the school is prohibiting all black attire due to its association with depression and mental health issues and/or criminality. Which, first of all, middle school is the time for the peak time for self-expression, and you're trying to rip away their right to express themselves. So if they're mentally, if they are depressed, they're allowed to be depressed.
Yeah,
okay? I also they want to commit crimes. They're allowed to think about committing crimes.
Exactly. It's you can't police thoughts.
You can't.
I also like how the superintendent's like, look, there's a mental health crisis. School shootings happening everywhere. Let's change the color of their clothes. Let's brighten it up. You know, if someone's going to shoot up the school, they've got to do it in pastels. You can't do it in dark clothes. Yes. That's our rule around here.
That's it. Yes, I thought that too. Where it's like, you know what? I don't like seeing people get hurt, so I'm gonna like eliminate Band-Aids. I don't want to see a Band-Aid.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like you're not fixing the problem.
You have to walk around with your open wounds around me. I don't want to see that disgusting shit covering it up.
Exactly. So some parents and just people involved with the school are not feeling this. So someone kind of agreed with us. Alexis Contreras said, making students wear a different color isn't going to magically make them a completely different person. Fabiola Flores also was annoyed because, as I mentioned, the school year just started over in Texas. And she's like, well, you guys could have told me before I went out and before I took my kid to Hot Topic and bought out the store. Like
the school should have a goth buyback program, like goth.
Right, like jerseys.
Look, if we're implementing this policy, but to be fair, if you already bought goth clothes for this new school year, we'll buy them back from you and we'll give you our new rainbow uniforms or whatever the fuck they're gonna be. Like
what's the like opposite? Like what sort? Like Tommy Bahama or something?
Yeah, just like Vineyard Vines, just like pastel frat clothes, like whatever it is.
Yeah,
it's so weird because like personally I feel more comfortable around people that are willing to engage the darkness or in dark thoughts and like play around with it. And I think that's why part of the reason why we have such a good rapport is like we're both not afraid to get dark. We'll talk about whatever.
Yeah.
And it's always the people who are like, no, keep it clean, keep it bright, keep it where you find out like they were just like raping everyone behind the scenes. Like Bill Cosby is like, pull up your pants, don't curse on stage. And he just like drugged 78 women and raped the shit out of them. It's like,
you need to be concerned about the Vineyard Vines wearers more, I think, more than the heavy layered black attire people. I just don't think that they're the problem.
I think if you're like, it has to come out somewhere, whether it's through like the way you express yourself through clothing, or making content, or like paint, like whatever it is. No one that's a human being doesn't have darkness. So when you just like suppress it and you don't actually engage with it, that's when you get the school shooters. Now we're gonna have like, and
they're all gonna be wearing like
bright colors,
Bermuda shorts.
Yeah, I guess it's partially good, so you could see them coming better. They won't wear the black trench coats. They'll be in like bright yellow, bright pink pants, bright yellow shirt. Like you'll see them coming down the hall. You'll see
they're looking like Ken from the Barbie movie.
Exactly. You're like, wait, where's his dick? Does he have? He's like, nope, I don't have one. It's tucked back like Ken.
So Norma De La Rosa, who's the president of the El Paso Teachers Association, she's kind of recognizing that there's some pushback here. She said they're allowed to wear black. The change was to not allow students to wear completely black from head to toe. The intention is to ensure the physical and mental safety of their students, and was initially initiated due to concerns observed by teachers at the end of the last school year. So I also want to know, like, what happened at the end of the last school year?
Yeah.
That they were like, oh, God, we got to fucking fix that. Like,
yeah. And these stats?
Kids, it's like these kids don't like color. Like, all the middle schoolers are just, like, emoed out, gothed out.
Black clothes matter.
But the thing is, I also feel like, if you go back and look at your middle school yearbook, and I actually have my middle school yearbooks, which is crazy. But if you look back, so many kids, I just feel like who you were in middle school is not even who you are by your senior year of high school, right? Like,
no, yeah.
So many kids, like, you're just starting to like go through puberty. You're at your most hideous time period in your life when you're a middle schooler. You're like zits all over your face. Like, you're trying to figure out how to wear makeup, how to do your hair. Like, if you're a girl, you're like growing breasts and you're like, what the fuck are these things? Like, I know so many girls.
If you're a chubby boy, you're growing breasts and you're like, what the fuck are these things?
Exactly.
Like me in 7th grade.
But that is true. I knew so many like people and students and friends that like they wore more gothic. I wouldn't have called them goths because they weren't to that extent, but like they wore like big black zip ups, or like you're just like not comfortable with your body when you're 12. Like it doesn't look the same as it did a year ago. You're becoming something else. Like, you're getting hairier, you're just getting bigger. It's weird. Like, so many middle schoolers just like don't know what to do, and so they're just like, I just want to wear like black and like blend in. Like,
it's easy. I have vivid memories of looking down at my nipples in the shower in middle school and being like, why doesn't it go flat like my friends? Like my friends that are skinnier, like, why are my nipples so above like the plane of flatness? I'm just like looking down at how much it curves, and I'm just like, well, I want to go down. And I do remember, I guess dark clothing, it's also just easy. Like, if you're buying
works
a shirt, black shirt, you don't have to worry about if it's matching with anything. Wear all black. Like, I'm literally wearing a black shirt right now. I would say like 40%, 40 to 50% of my clothing is like dark black colors. Yes. I like the color black, even though it makes me look even paler than I am because of the contrast. Like, I just identify with that color.
Black is a good color. It's funny you mentioned that like nipple story. I like vividly remember being in middle school and like waking up one day and walking down the hall and like feeling a jiggle behind me. And I was like, what was that? And puberty had struck. And like, I suddenly had like an ass. Like,
yeah.
I went from being
someone's
like
sneaking behind you in the hallway, jiggle. What?
I was like, what was that?
What? It's like a horror movie. You think someone's hiding behind the locker.
Yeah. That is coming with me down the hall. And then it was like, okay, I guess puberty has like come for me in the night.
Yeah.
And like I suddenly gained like 2 pounds worth of fat on my ass.
I'm just thinking about you, like the kid that runs up the stairs, like everyone did, that thinks that someone's following them. You're like, oh my God, it's right behind me. How is it still here? Yeah. Jiggle, 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 jiggle.
What is
jiggle,
that?
Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. How is it still so close?
It's like a paranormal activity was taking over.
A ghost is just attached to my ass.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So kids are going through a lot in middle school. They should be allowed to wear whatever they want, especially when it's like it doesn't what they wear, like the color of their clothes does not cause any red flags. Now, if somebody's like wearing a shirt that says like, I hate black people, I want them to die.
Or I'm going to shoot up the school.
Now
I'm a school shooter.
Something.
Yeah. You should probably call that kid's parents. Yeah,
exactly.
Call them into the office.
But if it's just the color, if it's just goth, like I don't see anything wrong with that. So they're getting pushback. And I just mentioned that like the president of the Teachers Association, is kind of like, we don't know what we're doing here. The superintendent, Diana Saavedra, also said that the school dress code policies have recently garnered community attention at a couple of schools. We see this as a valuable opportunity to foster a healthy engagement with the community in an effort to land on the values we share about safety and success of the students. The campus and the district will be reviewing the proposed change and will make sure that the proper procedures are put in place to get feedback from all parties as to the possible future changes. So it's on hold for now because there's just been all this pushback. But I'm just also wondering if it goes through, like what should kids start to wear as like protests? Should they like show up in like banana costumes? Like what should they show
Black
up?
Banana costumes.
They're wearing like
bananas.
devil costumes or something. Like what can they wear to really express themselves?
Just nothing. Just be like, look.
Shows up naked.
Well, I guess if you do show up naked and you happen to be black, then the school could be like, that's against dress code. You got to cover yourself in a bright color. But I would say, showing up naked where you're like, look, technically, this isn't all black. My nipples are pink and look at my kneecaps. I'm not going against dress code right now.
It's just so wrong. It just doesn't feel right. And I want more goth people on this planet, not less. Okay. Yeah. I feel safer with goth people around.
Yeah.
And I do feel like this is like from the 90s. Like this is back. I remember Marilyn Manson was like the face for all of this because he
got blamed for the Columbine shooting. They're like, he's listening.
Because the kids were like listening to his
they're
music.
listening to Marilyn Manson and they dress in black trench coats and they, and people, they weren't talking about mental illness or things like that, like how easily they were able to obtain weapons. It was like they were listening to this is the new shit. they weren't talking about anything. So that's crazy. I mean, like if like what is going through the mind of people that make these rules? Like let's say worst case scenario,
something wrong with these kids.
Exactly. Yeah.
Something wrong with these kids. No signs of happiness.
Yeah. And meanwhile,
all they wear is black.
Meanwhile, the superintendent on the weekends is dressed in an all black gimp, just getting abused by a dominatrix.
All leather.
That's against the rules.
Yeah.
That's against the rules. So the superintendent has to be.
Property.
But like, do they think that, let's say there's a kid that, he was thinking about coming into school, and in the most extreme case, it's a school shooting, a violent act in school. Do they think that the kid that was planning on doing that is going to look down at his shirt in class one day and it's bright yellow and he just goes, you know what?
I feel joy.
I don't have to shoot up the school. Look at the color of my shirt.
I'm just a ray of light.
Yeah, look at me now. I feel one with the universe. Look at these pastel colors just emanating into the classroom. I don't have to kill all my friends. Look at my look at my new shirt.
I don't think colors work that way.
Yeah.
I don't think it works that way at all.
If it did, you could we wouldn't have to have prisons. We would just have to change people's clothes.
Yeah, we'd go to their house and just repaint their walls for free.
Some guy just went on like a serial killing spree, just took out like 17 people, and you open his closet, you're like, well, no wonder he was wearing all black. We gotta lighten this up a little bit.
Yeah. So this is just totally wrong. We need to protect the right to be goth.
Yeah.
And I think middle schoolers are like, it needs to be a safe space to be as goth as you want to be. I want each school to really, what are schools even like anymore? Because I remember back in our day, like there were always like, there were the jocks, there were the goths, there were like the band kids. Like it literally was like Mean Girls when you go into the cafeteria and it's like each table was its own vibe.
What did you most identify with back in the day?
I was definitely a floater. Like I feel like a lot of people say that, but I do feel like I was somebody that was friends with all the groups. I would say I probably most closely identified with like the athletic, like the jocks, because I did play softball. And so I was kind of with the athletes, like the girl athletes, but my friends were like dorks. Like,
it's funny. I literally was very similar where I was playing baseball in high school, but at lunch, I sat with kids who were just like
my dork
we
friends.
were perceived as uncool. Like I wasn't getting invited to cool parties in high school. I was in the world of athletes, and some of those guys are still my friends, and I had a great fucking time. But it wasn't like a hateful thing. I just like I don't think they were like, no, you can't hang out with us at lunch. I just gravitated towards like my own close group of friends that weren't necessarily in the athletic spheres. Like it was a very just like not outcast, but like we weren't people didn't want to sit with us. It was just like our own clique thing at lunch. And then I cosplayed as an athlete after school, and I felt like I floated between the worlds of like athlete / just like
I was a survivalist as well, because I wasn't super smart. I was a very average student. And by average, I mean like I was really good in like history and English. I was not very good at math or science. And so I learned to survive by like, I knew I needed to befriend like the smart people. Yeah. Because I was like, I'm not doing my homework.
Oh yeah. you got to pull in as many smart people as you can.
You show up to homeroom and like, I would be like sweating like an Olympian, like my wrist is going so fast. I'm copying homework.
Oh yeah.
So, I do think I was a floater because it's like, I was making friends with like, you got to be resourceful. You never know when you're going to need a goth, or you're going to need a nerd, or you're going to need a band geek or an athlete. You got to befriend them all.
Oh yeah. The bigger your Rolodex is of the different groups in high school, the better off you are. You don't want to be tied too closely to one or the other.
Yeah. What would you, because the movie The Breakfast Club? Yeah. Classic. And there's a goth in there. Ali Sheedy plays like the goth character. And I'm just wondering, like, if that doesn't exist anymore, what do we have now? Like, what's a modern day? You still have like the jock guy, the popular girl. Yeah. I guess now there's definitely a table in the cafeteria just for queer people. Yeah. I think in our day, like we were mixed in like with other groups, but now it's like, no, the queers are all over there.
Yeah. I mean, it was different for me because I went to an all guys high school. Oh, okay. So no one in their right mind would come out if they were in high school.
I think it was also a Catholic school. I think now like there probably might be like a table where like, all the gay men might hang out together.
For sure.
I think society's changed in that way.
I think a non-religious public high school, people would come out.
Yeah. For sure.
In Catholic school, you can't come out. All guys Catholic high school, unless you want your life to be a fucking living hell, you cannot come out of the closet. Yeah. part of the I vividly remember, like, we went over in class the reasons why homosexuality was a sin.
Oh man.
And you could go to Bible verses and like unpack all that stuff, and then like looking back on that, I mean, it's tough to just go through high school in the closet period, but doing it, in an all guys Catholic high school is definitely, seems like it would be, fucking tough as shit. And part of the, I guess, I don't know whether to call it like the mystery or just like the surprise of figuring out who is gay through their social media posts of guys that I went to high school
like
high
a
school
treasure
with.
Hunt.
It's like, I think 50% everyone knew, like, it was just like unspoken, like, oh yeah, he's gay, he's not out, but like obviously, this kid is gay, like David's gay or whoever. And then 50% I feel like I knew. And then there's another 50% where I see a post on Facebook and it's like, I'm married to Jacob. And I'm like, no way. Like fucking Nick is
Surprise.
gay. And it's 50-50. And like, that is, that's just like a nice little treasure hunt of going to an all guys Catholic high school. It's like, you're like, no way. Yeah, exactly. Like a gay Easter egg
hunt.
One. Exactly. Yeah. So, it's just a little joy of going to an all guys high school.
Yeah, it sounds like a nightmare. I feel like when you go to all guys schools or all girls schools, you actually get more gay people. Like if I was sent to an all girls high school, wow. It would have been like putting what was that game Among Us in the beginning of the pandemic where it was like who's the killer kind of.
I thought you were gonna say like who's the gay one.
No, but that's what it would be like. You're putting me I'm like a predator in a room of prey at this point. Like
it didn't really. We never really had that dynamic, but there were just rumors. There would be like rumors about like, oh, like Nick jerked off Kevin in the stall after gym class, and
every high school.
That was just like, fucking, that's how it would start. Then like all of a sudden Nick is gay, and then that like you're just like, the gay one, and whether or not that's true, we would have the rumors. We wouldn't really have like it really was like unspoken. It's like, obviously
I do think
this kid is gay.
It was like that back in the day. Now like I think they're out in the open, and I think that's great. So I'd say there's like modern day Breakfast Club. There's the athlete, which is known as the bro. Mm-hmm. Then there's like the popular girl, which is like the Kardashian. So we got the bro, the Kardashian. We probably have like a nerd, but he's like more of like a hedge fund, crypto, like a startup kid.
Yeah. You have the stoner.
Oh, always
stoner
kid. Always.
Yeah. And then the goth loner kid. And then, yeah. And then maybe like a troll that has like no direction in life. Yeah, just someone
always
there,
a troll.
Just someone there to fuck shit up.
Yeah. So that's all I got. Like, I just want all of us to wave our flags. I want to save goth people. I might actually start dressing goth just to like bring
it back.
Yeah,
I think you should. We should do a goth episode.
I'm
gonna go on Amazon and look for like some goth paraphernalia for.
Just let's get some big pants.
Yeah,
I want to put some big pants on.
I'll get some fingerless black gloves, some big pants. Yeah. I'll get a wallet chain.
Yeah,
get some eyeliner.
I'm gonna slick my hair back.
Oh
like full back.
I got some pomade
with like a
too.
Long trench coat or something.
Yeah, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we'll have a nice little goth themed episode. So
save the goths.
Save the goths. So speaking of saving, there's a lot of people that want to save sharks.
Okay,
and that's what that's what our next story is about. So
all right,
apparently, according to scientists, there's a lot of sharks that are testing positive for cocaine.
Damn.
In the ocean.
First bears, now sharks.
First cocaine bear, now it's cocaine sharks. Sharks. The title of this article is "Sharks in Brazil Test Positive for Cocaine," says scientists. So apparently, sharks living off of the coast of Brazil have tested positive for coke, according to new research, the first time that the drug has been detected in free-ranging sharks. Scientists tested 13 Brazilian sharp-nosed sharks in the waters off the city of Rio de Janeiro and found cocaine present in both the liver and muscle tissue of all 13 specimens, according to a paper by the Cruz Foundation, sent to CNN on Tuesday. And like the first thing that pops into my head when I'm reading this is like getting attacked by a shark is bad enough, but could you imagine getting attacked by a shark?
It's swimming fast as fuck.
On cocaine, where it's just like it's biting the shit out of you. It's grinding their teeth extra from the coke, so it's like biting down even harder. It's just like,
wow,
just telling you about its shitty business ideas. The shark's like, I want to start a crypto business.
Bottom of the ocean in like 0.5. I don't know. Like you're going fast as fuck.
Oh yeah, it's a shark on cocaine has to be like. It has to be like the stuff of nightmares. Like a shark is already a nightmare with its teeth like open at you, and you see like all the thousands of teeth in a shark's gum. But if you see a shark that's like coked out, where it's like rubbing its gums with its fin, and it's like fiending, and it's like jaws grinding.
It's also hard. It'd be hard to tell because like their pupils are already black as fuck. Like they're already big and black. Like you don't know it's on cocaine until too late. Like
that's true. If you're a shark, a great way to hide your cocaine use is through your already black as night pupils, because no one's able to know if
are
you're
they
actually
dilated. I don't know
if you're actually on cocaine. So that is a good way to evade the ocean police.
So are we assuming that this happened probably because like ship carrying cocaine, a pirate ship carrying cocaine went down?
So it goes on to say that cocaine consumption has risen massively around the world in recent decades, which is a surprise to me, because I've thought that like the 80s, where coke was still like it was like the booming decade for coke, and you think that's like the height of the cartels, like Pablo Escobar, Griselda, like all the fucking like clubbing in Miami, and like all everything just like fucking getting pumped into America and Europe. But coke has just like under the radar, even though the cartels are not as prominent as they were. It's just like been steadily rising, and now it's like this unsaid thing that like every adult does coke, but no one is talking about it. It's not like an out in the open thing. Brat Summer, baby.
Even the sharks are in on Brat Summer.
The sharks are getting brat as fuck right now.
Wow.
So people, it's just like this unspoken thing that everyone's just doing. It's on the rise. Scientists are saying they think the reason is that cocaine is polluting the sea due to sewage discharges from humans who use the drug.
Interesting.
As well as the illegal laboratories that produce it.
I was going to say, that's like, ew, that's one way to recycle cocaine.
Is shit it out.
Yeah, shit it out and then get a shark
into
high.
the ocean. And then laboratories that are, leaking out cocaine, that they're manufacturing it from these illegal labs.
Yeah.
My thing is like, if you're doing cocaine and you're shitting out cocaine, shouldn't there be like like people that take like human excretion and like they create water out of it? Like sometimes you hear like these things where it's like, oh yeah, we took human shit and like this whole bottle is like recycled water.
Wow.
Shouldn't the cocaine business be capitalizing on this and being like, there's
we
enough
can resell this.
There's enough coke to get sharks high apparently in human shit. Like take human shit and
Maybe
like
there
redistribute
is now.
it. Exactly.
Maybe there is now. Maybe this is just discovered. Do you remember that movie? Did you ever see that movie with Paul Walker, R.I.P., and like Jessica Alba way back in the day called Into the Blue?
No, I never saw it.
I watch it when I go to the beach because I like to watch beach themed movies while I'm at the beach.
Fuck yeah.
And yeah, it's about, I'm pretty sure like he's like a diver, and yeah, he like lives down in the Caribbean, I think. and they stumble across like a plane crash in the ocean, and it was carrying like bricks of coke.
Yeah.
And so then that's like the whole plot of the movie is like, I'm sure the police were after it. Paul Walker and Jessica Alba, they're like, they're like good people, but they're like, we got to go get those bricks of coke. Don't tell anybody because like they want to be rich.
You have to.
So yeah, but then like obviously I guess, you know, eventually I guess maybe like cartel members or whatever, like, where the fuck's my shipment of coke? And so then they're after it. Watch the movie.
They show up and they have to battle the sharks that got there first, just doing lines of fucking blow in the ocean.
Yeah, the shark just like looks up. It's like whole nose is white.
Just Scarface, just this is our fucking coke,
it's
motherfucker.
Like swimming around. It doesn't close its mouth. It just swims around like that.
You're gonna have to pry this out of my cold dead fins. This is my fucking coke.
It's actually good though. I think that the coke went into the shark's fins. Like, imagine an octopus comes across this cocaine. I just feel like sharks, you know, are kind of dumb. Like, their brain is the size of like a walnut, despite being like 20 feet long.
Yeah.
So, you know, all they know is like swim, eat, swim, eat.
Swim, and then you introduce cocaine, and it's like swim, eat, blow, like Jim Tan laundry. It's like swim, eat, sniff, swim, eat, sniff.
Now, if octopi come across this coke and start
good plural, by the way.
Oh, I know.
I wouldn't have known to do that.
Oh, I don't. That's something I learned back in middle school when I was a goth.
Unreal.
If they get all 8 tentacles into this coke, and it's just like line after line, you know, I mean, they could take over the world. Like, they're smarter than humans. Their brain is like quadruple the size.
I was gonna say, do you think if because I've heard that an octopus is like the smartest thing. Octopi and dolphins.
I think those are just dolphins.
Dolphins.
I know. I can't get confusing.
Octopi and dolphin are the 2 smartest beings in the ocean, the most sentient, but they're not as smart as humans. Do you think octopi and dolphins on coke could enslave the human race if they got their hands on a steady supply of cocaine?
I think that octopi could do some serious damage.
Like, instead of Planet of the Apes, we have Planet of the Octopi, and it's just like a bunch of
super smart.
They enslave the human race. They enslave the human race. The human race.
What's that? Jasmine
they turn
rice?
us into rice.
Okay.
And every human is just a slave for the octopi, and our job is to cultivate cocaine, and every human is just feeding the octopi, and there's like the overlord octopus that he's just taking bumps all the time, just everywhere. The thing is, like, be
the most efficient factory too. Like, if they were involved, because they have 8 tentacles. Like, I mean, we can't get shit done like that. Like, they're killing the game.
Yeah.
They can walk and do lines and also like wrap up their bricks and everything. Like, and we're just there like little machine, like just running the conveyor belts. I don't know.
And
like,
the octopi are just taking in the cocaine at just such a massive level, because they probably have mucous membranes on their tentacles. So they're doing the bumps off their tentacles, but on the tentacles where the coke's just sitting there, it's absorbing through that too. Yeah. So it's kind of just like they're plugged into a Tesla battery of cocaine with 8.
Holy shit.
With 8 tentacles, and you're just like, ugh.
It would be scary situation, because they also can blend in. I mean, they're not getting arrested ever. It's going to take forever for the police to believe us. Yeah. Because they're going to show up at the fact, and we're going to be like, no, I swear, my boss, he has 8 legs.
Yeah, it's not.
They're like, ma'am, you are on coke. Okay. Yeah. I'm like, no,
my octopus bosses. I swear to God, my boss is an octopus.
Camouflaged like in the corner. They look like a mop bucket, like just chilling.
Eyes wide as fuck. You're like, I didn't even realize an octopus had eyes, and then they're just fucking open, fucking staring at you.
Yeah.
Just
it would be a nightmare for the human race. We need to get the coke out of the water because this is actually a disaster waiting to happen.
Our only chance is if the octopus and the sharks get in a turf war, like an ocean cartel turf war.
Crips versus Bloods.
Crips versus Blood, octopi versus sharks, and then they're distracted defending their territory, and that's when the humans, we use some of the cocaine for ourselves and we plug into the coke matrix and we take our intelligence back, and then that's when the battle becomes interesting. That's like movie 3 though.
We gotta get there.
we gotta get there first. Like that's like Planet of the Sharks redemption, the rise of the humans.
I'm also trying to so octopi, they can communicate as well. So I'm also just trying to think what would a coked out octopus be trying to tell me, Probably
you know where to find more coke. Just any human that's just coked out of his mind. Like, dude, I need some more. I need some more coke. The only thing you care about when you're on coke is that you want more coke.
It says that they have highly developed brains and supervision and tentacles with powerful suctioning discs. So they already have supervision. You get them coked up, they can see through the fucking wall.
This is making me want to get a pet octopus just to give it coke, just to give it bumps of coke. Just I'll put a little silver spoon of coke in the water just to see what it does with it. And then by morning, I'm just I wake up and I'm tied to my bed and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
The octopus is already in charge.
So I'm reading here also an average octopus has an IQ level of above 140. So what's the average?
What the fuck?
Yes, that's they're mega
no
mind.
Chance.
It says
that's higher than mine. I don't even think I have an IQ of 140.
That's what I'm saying, Zach. They're smarter than us already.
Wait,
that's why this is serious.
Octopus IQ 140. I don't believe this.
What's the average human IQ?
Probably 105, I would guess.
Human IQ. All right, so the average human IQ is between 85 and 115.
Yeah, there's no way an octopus. How do they know? We can't talk to octopus.
Yes, we can if we try hard enough.
if we take enough bumps of blow, we can talk to octopi.
We absolutely can, Zach. Because you make them do tests and stuff all the time. I've watched stuff like this at aquariums and shit. They have them do tests. They'll put them in a tank and they'll triple duct tape and put cinder blocks on that bitch, and they're get out of this tank this time, and then they'll come back in an hour and the octopus is just sitting on top of the tank.
Isn't 140 genius level though?
Yes, that's what it says on this thing. It says it's a genius level.
I feel like this is a trolling website.
What? It probably is. Let's see.
Octopus IQ.
Yeah. What's the average level?
It's saying they're not intelligent in the way we are.
Yeah, they're functioning like a computer.
But I'm not seeing that one article said 140 IQ. The average octopus has an IQ of 100. Where are they getting this?
That's what because they make them do tests. They'll literally be they'll have them. You do tests memory tests, and their memory is way better than ours. They'll remember an exact route. They are always getting out of their tank, and they'll remember where and how to get back to what they want. They'll figure out how to open doors. They'll go under things. They'll also, octopus also eat. They're not vegetarians. They will also get out of their tank. And if they're at the aquarium, they'll be in their tank. They'll be looking over. They'll see a fucking salmon,
in another
across
tank.
the way.
Yeah.
And yes, they will get the fuck out of their tank. And if it's not secure, they will eat that. They will go over and go into another fish's tank and eat it. Yes.
They'll hop over, or I mean, if they were really intelligent, they would flirt with the salmon.
They might
get the salmon to hop over. Salmon can fly. Salmon. I was about to say salmon can fly.
They can if you've seen them in the river.
If they're horny enough. If they're horny enough for an octopus, salmon can sort of hop upstream. If the octopus was smart enough, they would get the salmon horny. The salmon hops to the octopus tank, and then the octopus, boom, just takes care of business while the salmon's sucking it off. It just eats the salmon, tricks it into doing horny acts, and then it becomes food.
Yeah. It also says they can use tools. So like they basically could write you a letter. If they knew English, they would be able to, because they can, like, honestly, I would trust an octopus to fix my flat tire.
I'd probably
I bet it could. If we showed it a YouTube video, it could probably fix a tire.
I mean, if it was on enough coke, it would steal your car.
Oh, for sure.
And that would be the origin story. Is like an octopus pulled over to fix a flat tire.
Yes.
Did a bunch of cokes, stole another car, and then went on the run to take over the world. I think like with all the coke, because all this research is coming out that the coke is in the ocean way more than we thought it was, and then it's seeping into sharks. Maybe the octopi are getting their hands on coke, and we were talking about earlier in the podcast like trends lagging behind. Like in Panama, like the goth trend is just hitting Panama now. Do you think that the ocean is like the 80s right now, where everyone is just discovering coke?
Or was that the 70s?
70s, I think, was like the come up for coke. And then the 80s was like the disco era, where it was like you walk into a club and coke is just out in the open. Like people
was like
doing
that for till the 90s too. It's still like
people
that.
doing it on tables. Yeah. Like you think that the ocean is like going through its 80s phase right now, where it's like fish bumping disco. Sharks just fucking rocking bell bottom.
Hell yeah.
They're bell bottom fucking corals, reef parties, doing lines, bumping Phil Collins.
That's Finding Nemo 3 right there.
Yeah. I can feel it coming in the sea tonight. Oh, Lord. I can feel it. It's just I feel like it's just an absolute party down there.
Seems like it. I mean, they've got it. Maybe we should deliver some other stuff. I mean, we might as well make their party even better. Just go drop off some Miller High Life or something.
Should we tell them?
Pack of cigs.
Should we tell the fish about the crack epidemic, because it hit us after the coke, and then like once crack hit, that was like the end of the coke party. We should the ocean's gonna be like this 80s haven until the crack epidemic hits, and like shark crack babies are happening, and
mutated
like sharks are leaving their kids to fucking suck fish dick in the reef for another hit of crack.
Yeah.
It was a good time until the crack hits. And then like the with the CIA selling crack to its own citizens to like push its own agenda, there's going to be like the COA, the Central Ocean Agency, where it's like the fish are going to get together and like sell crack to their own people.
Yeah.
And justify it by fighting wars against, other fish, other oceans. It's just going to be, a whole shit show. We should, warn the ocean about
We'll send them a message.
Yeah. They have a good like 8 to 10 years before they have to worry about the crack come down. They're in the coke phase right now.
Yeah. And then it's like full cycle though too. Cause if we're doing coke and then it's going into sewage into the ocean, now they're doing coke. Now I'm eating sashimi. Now I'm doing coke again.
It's like,
I mean, it's like
whoa. the golden circle of coke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a giving circle. How beautiful is that?
Because people always think of cocaine as a selfish drug, and it's like me, more. But we're sending our drug to the ocean. The sharks are doing it through human shit.
Wow.
Some leakage through the laboratories. And then the fish are getting in on it too, probably. And then you're right. It's coming back to us through sushi, through omakase.
And this is like...
And you don't even need to do coke when you're out now.
Why we love nature.
Yeah.
I mean, we could make a documentary right now.
Yeah.
About the beauty of nature and how it's all just one big circle.
You think God wasn't on coke when he made the world?
I think
that's
so.
Such a... I'm going to make a fucking universe in 7 days. And it's only going to take me... It's like your friend telling you about a business idea on coke where he's like, dude, I'm going to fucking change cryptocurrency within the next week. You want to invest? And I'm just like, dude... It's 7:48 p.m. on a Thursday night.
Slow down.
That's God wanting to create the earth in 7 days. And, you know,
he did a beautiful job.
We're sitting here right now in the sunlight.
And I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel blessed.
So who knows where we're going to be, you know, and you're right. One of the benefits is the giving nature of this whole golden cocaine cycle. It's like now you don't even have to buy coke. You just have to go out to, you know, grab sushi at a local place, and you're doing it secondarily through the tuna sashimi. You're also getting cocaine from the fish.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll know. So like if you walk around parks and stuff around here or just on the street, you see like these little tiny, like it's like a pill bottle, but it's like it would not fit any more than one pill.
Okay.
Is that like for powder to snort? I don't know. I see these on the street.
Like a vial almost, but it's shaped like a pill bottle.
It's like a pop top. It's literally like this big in height, but it's the color of a pill bottle, like that orange kind of see-through color, and it looks like a little pop top. And I'm just like, what? It's gotta be like to like snort or something.
Yeah, it could be a
always
vial
wondered.
type thing for blow. If it's like a 1 gram vial, it could be for blow.
That's what it looked like.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's like a, oh, okay. Yeah, this is what I see.
What should I look up? Or
I have no idea. Like this type style thing. I see on the ground all the time in the parks and on the streets. And I'm like, I've always just assumed that's gotta be something like for a powder or something.
Could be powder. I mean, you could put rocks in there too, or like meth, or like anything that is smokable or snortable. You could put in there for sure.
I searched snorting vial and was able, if you're curious, but I'm sure some listener was like knew immediately what I was talking about.
Yeah.
So this says trash can. Oh, of course, this is a Baltimore area drug trend. Trash can.
That's how it starts. It starts in Baltimore, and then it comes out. It hits Philly, then it hits New York.
Yeah,
just
everything
the natural progression.
starts in the wire. Okay, no, I was right. I'm on to something. Look at me.
So it's like, yeah, you're literally what I'm seeing for listeners is just like a little vial. It does kind of look like a mini trash can, like something the size of your thumb.
Okay, yeah. Wow. I'm really learning something here. They hold powdered drugs, often contain the deadly drug fentanyl, and are seen in sizes smaller than a penny to about the size of a nickel. Police have found these vials in a variety of colors, including hot pink, orange, yellow, blue, green, black, silver, purple, but they're most often seen in clear containers. Okay.
That's a good way to make money.
I just needed to put those things together.
That's a good way to make money, is to be in the adjacent drug business. So you're not selling actual drugs, but you're selling things that people use to do them. So the person that's making these vials is popping off right now.
What else are you putting in that little trash can?
Or the company that makes those little dime baggies that everyone uses for
like,
Coke.
what are you putting in there? A button. That's the thing. For those, it's like when you get like a nice new button up, sometimes it'll come with a spare button. I've never fucking used one of those spare buttons in my life, but it'll come in like a little baggie. That's it. Now for the little trash can thing, like what am I putting in that?
A little shot of water.
Bug?
A bug collector. Yeah, they're a bug collection site.
Ladybug.
It's like those tobacco shops that sell bongs, and they're like, yeah, you could,
it's a water pipe.
Yeah, you could put some,
flower.
Sprinkle some tobacco in there and just hit it through a bong, and you can imagine it's like just just come out and say what it is, but you can't because of the law. So people get around that and they get in the adjacent drug business and they make a shit ton of money.
That's amazing.
And good for them.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm glad I put that together.
Yeah.
I answered my own questions.
Yeah. Do you have another story
to
go through? So we can go through. I do have a Reddit question.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
That we can go through really quick. And I thought this may bring up some interesting answers we could end off on. And there's a female version of the question and a male version of the question. And I'm going to ask you the question for you first, which is, what are you 90% sure other women do, but you've never been able or comfortable enough to ask?
Wow. I mean, I assume women do all the weird shit that I do. I don't know. That's such a broad question.
Something that if you were to say it, maybe you go out, you're at a bar and everyone's drunk and like people have their guard down and you're talking about something and every other girl in the group is like, oh my God, we totally do that. Like no one, like something that no one would ever acknowledge, but everyone does it.
Oh, probably just like more often than not be wearing like sexy underwear, like wearing like granny panties, period stained panties.
Okay.
I feel like more women probably do that than they would admit that they do that.
That's a good answer.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of something like embarrassing that's like specifically like women oriented.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel that because every girl that I've ever dated long enough to have access to my clothes, so like they're consistently sleeping over, has always stolen my boxer briefs.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, my underwear isn't as comfortable as your boxer briefs. And I'm like, then buy fucking boxer briefs. Like,
they want to
stop
come
stealing
over
my
and
boxer
look
briefs.
all sexy for you, Zach. So they're wearing their best thong. And then after, it's all said and done, they're like, he's satisfied. Let me put on these bloomers.
But not even thong, like regular women's underwear that isn't like the string thong type. Like even the regular one, I've heard it from multiple people where it's like the boxer briefs are the most comfortable.
Yeah.
So someone's missing an opportunity to not start a female boxer brief company.
Them. They're called Woxers.
Woxers.
Yeah, I think that's the company. Now, but why pay for overpriced? Like it's cheaper just to like.
He's got a pack of Calvin Kleins for like $20
underwear.
for 5 pairs.
It'd be cheaper to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's probably my answer.
Okay, I had an answer immediately pop up in my head.
Oh God. Okay.
So the guy version of that question would be, what are you sure that other men do, but you've never been able or comfortable enough to ask? And this isn't something that I've never been able to or comfortable enough to ask because I went to an all-guys high school. We talked about disgusting things, but this is just something I've noticed, like, after you leave the grotesque, disgusting environment of being in an all-guys high school where you're just like, you talk about everything, nothing is sacred, talk about all the bodily functions, and you go out into the normal world and people are trying to be more professional, and people just won't acknowledge this for whatever reason. Not that it comes up in a lot of conversations, but it's just something I don't imagine anyone ever admitting to outside of going to like an all guys high school locker room. And that is, I would put all of my money to say that 98.7% of guys have at some point in their life tasted their own cum. And no guy will admit that.
Because they're like, oh, that's gay.
That's gay.
That's
like
so
having
stupid.
semen in your mouth is gay. And if that were
even
true,
if it's your own?
Apparently, even if it's your own, I want to go on record right now saying I've tasted my cum.
Wow.
At different points in my life.
Multiple times, like every weekend, or
not every weekend, but like as you go through periods in your life, like I wonder what the 2017 batch is hitting like for all the ladies. Like you're if you're brewing your own beer, you don't send out your fucking brew for other people to taste before you
gotta test the product.
Yeah, you can't be a brewmaster and not test your own product before you're sending it out for
I think that's really beautiful of you, Zach. Because you wouldn't want to be a hypocrite, right?
Yeah.
Like if you were dating a spitter, not a swallower, and you were like, why won't you swallow that? Like,
yeah.
But now since you tested it yourself, you're able to say like, oh, I get it. Or like, oh, no, swallow that,
I could be like, oh, it
tastes great.
It was a little off that
just
month.
Had some this morning.
Exactly. She's like, I'm not into this. I don't,
You're like, yeah, I had a little bit too much.
It's not my vibe. And I'm like, oh, well, I could actually give you the taste profile if you want to know what it's like before. Like on the IPA menu where it's like, oh, this is like a 6.7% from, it's like a Norwegian IPA. I could give you the whole breakdown of like taste profile, fruity, tart, light, whatever for, the times in my life where I have, but it's a thing where it's like, if you ask a guy on a street, if I got 100 guys on the street right now and I was like doing the man on the street thing, like asking questions, like, where are you from? What do you do?
No.
And I said, have you ever tasted your own cum?
You see the lies in their eyes.
Have you ever tasted your own cum? When, like, past the age of 13, like, every guy has...
Just a little...
Yeah.
Just a little dab.
Just to, like, see, you're
so
like,
you
I wonder what it tastes like. Yeah, you're like, I wonder what it tastes like. And I don't know why it's such a big deal that people are like, oh, you taste your own cum, that makes you gay. No, I think it's the straightest thing in the world to taste your own cum.
Yeah.
Because I am, I can say that I've tasted the batch that has been sprayed into the mouths and backs of other willing, taste testers.
Wow.
And that's the straightest thing on the world to me.
I think that is, I think if it becomes a habit, it might be a little strange, but I think if you do it just like once or twice, just a little taste.
A few times throughout the course.
It's like when you test like a new condiment, like, oh, I've never like tested, I've never had horseradish before. Let me just a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or, I went vegan.
Spicy.
I've been vegan the past 6 months. I wonder how it's, affecting. All right, maybe I'll go back to meat. It's not really my vibe, or maybe it'll be her vibe. Who knows? But I think it's just like,
I think that is fine.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go out on. I think that's fine.
I think 98% of guys will not admit that, and I know 120% of guys have at some point in their life.
Yeah, I agree.
Put a piece of their own cum into their mouth and just been like, I wonder what it's like, and
why
it's it.
I think that's like good. I think it's weird to me I do think there are a lot of men out there that'll listen to this and be like, fuck no, I've never done that.
I mean, in their own head though, they'll be like, I have, but they won't admit it to anyone.
I think there are like some that maybe haven't because they aren't intellectuals like us, Zach. Okay, they don't want to ponder. They're not curious beings that follow through with backed science. Okay, you gotta experiment.
We're scientists on Breaking Takes. We experiment with what we put out, and cum comes out.
Also, a double standard because I think I don't know. I mean, I think women probably have tasted their own. I don't know. It's different consistencies. It's a different thing. But
have you ever, taken a swipe and just been like,
I've definitely done that.
Yeah.
But also
you want to know what the chef's putting out. You want to know what's coming out of the kitchen.
I mean, it's kind of like a hotter experience with women though, because I just feel like you can do the move where it's like, oh, taste yourself.
Yeah.
That's like that's a move you can use in the bedroom. I don't know with men, like once you blow your load, it's like, well, I guess the party's over, but
for a bit.
For
a bit. I think, you can sack up and just be like, all right, we're going to go round 2.
That's amazing.
When needed. I also think, look, tasting your own load does come with its own risks, because if let's say you're going to some sort of art show later that day and you jerk off, you give it a little taste and you don't shower. And then there's like a UV experience that's part of the art show.
You got a little on your lip.
And then everyone is just looking at like dots on your fucking mouth. And they're like, dude.
You got a little in your beard and
someone busted all over your mouth and you obviously did not clean up. And then you have to be like, no, it was actually me.
It was actually me.
It was that time of the year. I was tasting my own cum. I just wanted to know
once a year
what the fall batch was.
I got to have an annual report.
Yeah, it's like the Sam Adams summer ale. I wanted to know what the summer batch was tasting like.
I actually think, I'm not even kidding. I do think everyone should do that, because honestly, everyone tastes different, because everybody from my experience of just being with women, I do feel like every woman kind of tastes different. I think it's good that you know what you taste like. And especially if you're not eating well, you need to know that it's funky. Okay. Yeah. You need to have some more water. You need to eat some more fruit.
Yeah. And maybe you're a guy that's going through life and you're like, damn, I wish more people would swallow my load. Yeah. And you've never self-inspected.
And you got to solve the problem.
And you taste your own load for the first time.
Take matters into your own hands.
And you go, wow, that is not something I would swallow. Then, you have your answer. You've got to change something that's going in to change the things that are going out. And, tasting your own load can be a beautiful thing. And I just want to, put that out there.
I think it's normal. It's kind of like smelling your own farts. You know what I mean? You got to just know. You got to keep it real with yourself.
I really enjoy, cupping a nice fart is just something beautiful.
Oh, yeah, when you bring it right up.
You bring it right up, you cup it, you capture it, you feel the warmth in your hands.
Ew.
And you just put it right over your nose and you take a deep sniff. It's same thing. You're not eating a load. You're not swallowing a load. You're doing, the little thing where the pesto's on the side of your plate and you're just mopping up after a meal. you're just taking a little taste.
The sound effect there was that was a natural sound effect.
Yeah.
You just sucked that right off your fingertip.
100%. So, whether you're gay, straight, whatever,
it doesn't
change your sexuality.
It makes you a scientist.
If you're gay, you should be testing your own loads more, because that's gonna be
busier. That factory is even busier, maybe.
It could be. So, I mean, look, this is just a health PSA. We had a PSA at the beginning of the podcast. We want
to feed your inner child. If you want to be goth, be goth. If you want to taste your own nut, taste it.
Yeah.
I want your inner child to feel so healthy and thriving with curiosity.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
And there's nothing better for your inner child than putting your own potential children into your taste buds and then just figuring out, this is me. I'm inside of me right now. There's nothing more beautiful in the universe than that. And I think, that's a good spot to end off, is the cycle of life. We talked about the cycle of cocaine is it goes into the oceans, the fish do the coke, and then it comes back into our bodies. You eject your load, you taste a little bit of it, she tastes it, he tastes it. Wherever the load goes, it's just one cycle of just continuous semen regeneration. And I think this is just part of what makes Breaking Takes beautiful, is just our willingness to explore all aspects of life in the universe.
We're very open-minded individuals.
Yes. And I'm enjoying every step of the way alongside you, exploring myself.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Rate us on,
I know after that conversation, they're like, how can we rate?
Yeah.
You might need some time.
Wash your hands first. If you were listening to the podcast and you're like, you know what, I'm going to taste it right now. Before you tap that 5-star, wash your hands first. Give us a rating on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Yes. Subscribe to us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. The TikToks have been blowing up recently. We see a bunch more of you guys commenting. So thank you for engaging on that. And then we just dropped our 9th bonus episode on breakingtakes.supercast.com.
That's right.
Which comes in handy if you're like, damn, no episode this week. Sometimes, you know, things happen. We take a break. Whatever it is, we miss a week. You can go to breakingtakes.supercast.com and listen to a bonus episode. There's 9 in the back catalog, 10 soon. Hit the subscribe button. Then you can also become part of the show where you can suggest topics, questions for us to answer, AMAs. Everything is back there on breakingtakes.supercast.com. Thank you so much, guys, for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.
See you next week. Bye.
Peace.